There are few more aptly named calls on the comedy map than our next, Joy Street. It's here that we find the birthplace of the man with the best job in showbiz, just being chased around parks by girls in bikinis on the Benny Hill show. You never knew he was from Belfast because he rarely spoke, but the man made a living out of being a slaphead. Literally.
This looks like a case for super teach and prefect.
We're talking to you from the very centre of Belfast, a street called Joy Street, just behind Belfast City Hall. And we're outside number 4 Joy Street, which is where Jackie Wright was born. I think it was in 1904.
In the chase scenes, Jackie was always the little figure at the end, but particularly as he got older, he wasn't capable of running the actually quite big distances, and so one of the girls used to double up. Now, this scene was some sort of spoof on Superman. Benny's dressed as Superman here, and Jackie's dressed as Wonder Boy, and you can see that one of the Hills Angels is dressed in the same costume, so she would have done the runaround.
The little smacking on the head, I mean, that was the trademark. Everywhere you'd go, Jack stood there, and he had a very wrinkled face, and he'd look up at Benny being very, very small, and Benny would literally go on the top of his head.
Thank you.
And Benny treated him like a father, and Jack became almost like a little mascot, and almost like a father Benny never had. These are a couple of postcards sent from Benny Hill and Dennis Kirkland, the producer of the Benny Hill show, to Jack, saying that Benny and I have met all the Hollywood stars, Burt Reynolds, Jack Lemmon, Clint Eastwood, and all they do is talk about you, meaning Jackie, so he was very, very pleased with that. So no matter where Benny went, America, Australia, all over the world, he would send postcards to Jack telling him what he was doing. Here are some pay slips, which I'm sure are always of interest to people. As Jack got older, obviously, Benny was very keen to involve Jack right up to the end of his life. And when Jack was no longer able, Benny would include in his compilation shows many of the scenes in which Jack performed as a way of providing payment to Jack. And I also think as a thank you, it was Benny's way of saying thank you to him for all the years he gave to him.
Now, there's no time to waste as we have to meet a milkman. We're heading for Eastleigh, just outside Southampton, where one Alfred Hawthorne Hill really did ride the fastest milk cart in the West and galloped along this very street.
Whoopie-woe, have me creamy milky woe. The cry of the milkman. Yes, I went on the milk round. I worked for Harry Hand's Dairies, which was situated somewhere in this area here. And this is the market street that I used to gallop down on my milk cart with all the empties in. And I was 16 years old, and of course I thought I was driving the
Looking for a plaque that's honouring Benny Hill in this town. Did you know there was one?
No, I didn't.
Benny Hill. You know Benny Hill? Yeah. Because he lived and worked in Eastleigh.
Yeah, and did all the milk round and all that.
So you knew that, but no, you don't know where it is?
No, I don't, sorry.
Okay.
lonely boy, why am I such a lonely boy?
Excuse me, can I just ask you, we're trying to find, did you know that there was a plaque to commemorate the fact that Benny Hill worked in Eastleigh as a younger man? Somewhere down there. You don't know, have you seen it?
Yes, it's got to be in this street.
Why? Was that because did he work on this street?
He done the milk reindeer, didn't he?
Yeah, for Hans Dairy.
I worked with him once.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
What did you do?
Milkmaid.
Oh, really?
Yes.
When Alfred was on the milk round, he did enjoy it. I mean, he nicked all the people that used to see him. He always had a joke and a laugh, and he got all the friends of the people, and he liked his horse, and he used to feel he was galloping as he rode it back to the depot.
His name was Ernie, and he drove the fastest milk cart in the West.
He was very good with customers, and the horses loved him too, which is good. When he was saying the fastest milk, he was singing about us, Eastleigh.
and he drove the fastest milk cart in the West.
I've still got that record today at home, so put it down, he was a man and a half. He was really something. You know, I don't miss my husband as much as I miss him.
He tempted her with his treacle tarts and his tasty oatmeal bread, and when she seen...
Oh, there's one there.
I don't think that's it. Benny Hill.
There you go. There you go.
See, I knew it would be near, didn't I?
It's almost smaller than the no smoking sign. Comedian of international acclaim, earning the fastest milkman in the West, began his career in Eastleigh and worked here at Hans Dairy.
I live on Benny Hill Close, and I've been a resident here for 3 years.
I've lived here 4 years, almost to the day, and I dislike intensely the name Benny Hill Close. I didn't know when I bought the flat. I bought plot 127. When I found out it was Benny Hill Close, I thought the seller was taking the mickey. I really did not believe anybody would call somebody's place of residence Benny Hill Close.
I know there's a few around here who are not so happy with it.
And I had the mickey taken out of the golf club for weeks and weeks and weeks, and people still ask me, is that still called Benny Hill Close?
I think it would have been really a chuff to know that in Eastleigh they named Benny Hill Close after him. Now, they'd been quite happy to stand by the sign if he'd have seen it and had his picture taken next to it.
The postcode of this property is SO505 Golf Golf, and GG, apparently, allegedly, I'm not sure, is the largest bra size. So is that another play on the Benny Hill thing, the sort of women he liked, etc., etc.? It's just a theory a few of us have.
At the actual funeral itself, it was a long procession. It was poured with rain, but the streets were lined with people, and they were about 2 or 3 deep, and I couldn't believe how many people actually had turned up, and they were all sad. There was no noise. It was just purely watching. He would have been, I think, yes, honoured and probably surprised, but pleased. Yes, humbled, probably.
My money is probably on one with flowers, and in fact, that's it. So it says Southampton's Benny Hill, born Alfred Hawthorne Hill, comedian, son, brother, friend, our boy eternal. It's a bit humbling, really. I almost want to slap my own head repeatedly and just, you know, it's that feeling of